Doing better than me. You doing better than me? I can't even hit the rim. Sorry if the music's too loud. The kids are playing ball in the church and they got music going. But as always, figured I'd go live while I'm walking. So if y'all have any questions, let me know. Hopefully y'all can hear me. I know yesterday, I think it was going in and out for everybody. But again, sorry if the music's too loud. Kids are in here playing ball today. Practice. I forgot how many laps I done. I believe that was 9 just now. But yeah, if y'all have any credit repair questions, put them in the comments. More than happy to answer them for you. I know somebody was asking a question about my course earlier today when my live got cut off from a phone call. And I know it's loud now with all the basketballs being dribbled in the background. Guess I picked a bad time to come to the church for a walk. So what I typically do twice a day is I walk about, well today I walked 3 miles from my house and back. I usually just walk and pray while I'm walking. And then I will go to the church at some point, usually in the afternoon, around 2, and walk at least 1 more mile. But I figured I would go live when I walk at the church so I could answer any questions y'all might have. So don't be scared to ask a question. If you got a question about credit repair, Metro 2, consumer loss, factual disputing, the CFPB, the BBB, Attorney General's office, credit sweeps. Don't recommend them, but if y'all have questions about them, I'll be more than happy to answer them. I saw that one. Jason Scott, 2 accounts I need help with. Yeah, so for somebody that only has a few accounts, and again, I'm sorry if it's loud and y'all can't hear me. There's kids playing basketball. The paper deletion is definitely the best option. I'm not sure if they're collections, charge-offs, repos, bankruptcy, or whatever, but the paper deletion is definitely the best. You pay a $149 processing fee, and then you don't have any other fees to pay unless the item's deleted. So for collections and charge-offs, it's $50 per bureau, and I would assume that's probably what you're having issues with. And I hope y'all can hear me today. So yeah, if you want to put in the comments exactly what kind of accounts they are, whether they're collections, whether they're charge-offs, what bank it is, that'd be great too. Can anybody tell me what's the number one thing consumers forget to dispute when they're disputing themselves, and even credit repair companies? What's the number one tremendously help the chances of them getting something deleted? Put it in the comments if you think you know what it is. Probably surprise y'all. Some of you probably already know from me talking about it in other lives, other videos, but just curious to see if anybody knows what the one thing most people forget to dispute when disputing negative accounts on their credit report. Citibank charge off 800 and Cap One charge off for $6K. Yeah, So another advantage that we have if you decide to work with us, and this is in no way me convincing you that you've got to work with me or I'm the only good company out there, but it's because we use attorneys. And the main reason is nobody's more compliant than an attorney when it comes to fixing credit. They're not going to do anything that's illegal. And their goal is not just to get you deletions. Their goal is to get you money in your pocket on top of the deletions and possibly get debts waived, meaning you no longer owe the debt. So traditional credit repair, a regular credit repair company that's just disputing things, they're not going to get you money in your pocket. They're not going to get any of that stuff. They're not going to get debts waived. They're not going to possibly get you out of lawsuits. That's another thing. If y'all are being sued by banks, you need to email me those lawsuits, because I have people that can possibly get you out of those lawsuits for a very small fee. Sometimes only $100 to $200. And then they turn right back around and sue the company that was suing you. So you can't beat that. And when I say $100 to $200, that money doesn't go to me. That money goes to the people that's actually going to help you. I am technically just referring you to these people that can get you out of the lawsuit. So yeah, if anybody else has any questions, please put them in the comments. Be more than happy to answer any questions y'all have. Keep in mind we do offer 2 different credit repair courses too. The first one is $597 and it is on school.com. There's 24 modules, I believe, for you to go over that teach you everything about trying to fix people's credit. There's letters in there, information about credit cards, the best softwares to use, trade lines, you name it, it's in there. And then we have one for $1,000, which also includes access to a software that actually points out FCRA violations for you. And not only does it point those violations out, it also puts the attorney verbiage in the letters so you don't have to worry about how to dispute those accounts. And then you're going to be able to partner with those attorneys, and they pay $400 per violation. So not only are you going to get deletions for your clients, you're going to get money in your pocket, you're going to get money in their pocket, and then obviously the attorneys are making money too. So $1,000 for a course is going to teach you everything you need to know to fix other people's credit, make money, and also fix your credit, versus paying some scammer that's charging $2,000 to sweep your credit and commit fraud on your behalf. There's a huge difference. And most people selling these courses, they're not offering attorneys. They're not offering any way for you to get more compensation for you and your clients. They're not compliant, and they're charging up to $30,000 for these courses. I'll do the pay for delete. Yeah, that sounds good. If you got something to write with, because I still don't know how to chat on my phone. My number is 512-567-5410. And I can say it again if you need to. Just send me a text message and I'll respond to it after I get off of here. You could also just go to my website, which is everythingcreditllc.com. Click on plans and pricing, and then just sign up. And then once I see your name pop up, I'll set up the right agreements for the paper deletion, send you the welcome email. You just read and sign the agreement. We'll have you get all 3 credit reports from annualcreditreport.com and Innovis as well. The attorneys require all 4 credit reports, because remember, we're not just trying to dispute to get deletions. We're trying to dispute to get money in your pocket for violations. Whether there's a violation there or not when we start, or there's a violation that's triggered by the letters the attorneys send, and or how the bureaus and creditors respond. So it's a lot different than traditional credit repair. Like I said, the attorneys are working on the files start to finish. You don't have people in India like some of these other companies that are making $5 an hour or $5 per client to dispute stuff and then do illegal tactics through like the CFPB or even the BBB or the Attorney General's office. So yeah, the paper delete is definitely the best option for just 2 items. I always tell people if you have five items or less, the paper delete is always going to be your best option. Anybody else have any questions? Just leave them in the live chat and I will answer them as soon as they pop up. No, I'm not about to hoop today. I shot around a little bit yesterday, but there's kids in here today, so, and I'm not sure exactly how long they'll be in here, but I'm really too tired to hoop, honestly. I plan on doing this for the long haul, honestly. And the main reason is, obviously, I love what I do. I love helping consumers, and I like exposing scammers. I don't know how many of you have seen my channel, but I love exposing scammers, especially the Pinnacle Credit Repair or Pinnacle Credit Management. He changes the name of his business every week, it seems like. I just made a short clip actually about him where somebody commented on his post this morning and said, I paid him for his services, got no deletions and no refund. And that's because scammers don't give refunds. They're not going to give you a refund. Even if they have refund in their policy or their agreement, they're not going to refund you. Jason Scott, I appreciate that. Yes, a lot of people do call me the GOAT. But to be fair, it's not just me, it's the team I work with, especially the attorneys. I've only partnered with the best attorneys in every state, and they're not cheap, but it doesn't matter. I'm not in this to get rich. I'm just in this to make a decent living and to help consumers out. But I definitely appreciate that comment. I can tell you this, if my attorneys who work with me aren't able to get you the results you want, nobody can legally. And the reason I say legally is because anybody can do a credit sweep on your credit report and get everything wiped off of it. But you got to keep in mind, they're committing fraud on your behalf by doing that. And another thing, if anybody on here is a real victim of identity theft, meaning somebody got, credit cards or loans in their name and they charged off, we don't charge anything for those clients because it's not their fault that they're a victim of identity theft. And I can tell you firsthand, if they refuse to remove the stuff, and it may take 2 years, you're going to get a lot of money. Sometimes it's hundreds of thousands of dollars. And why did you get into repair in the first place? That's a great question. So I got talked into filing for bankruptcy because people kept calling me at my work. I didn't know much about credit at the time. I want to say this was 2011, something like that. So then in 2016, once I was done, I had to figure out how to get it removed because I was trying to buy a car to get back and forth to work. YouTube, talked to some credit repair companies, got a lot of good advice, figured out how to get it removed from my reports. And then I started helping coworkers, friends of coworkers, family members. And then in 2020, my mom said, you're helping too many people. You need to turn this into a business so you don't get in trouble with the IRS. So that's what I did. I finally turned it into a business, and that's what I've been doing ever since. At first, I was actually doing that and working a job as well, but it got to be too much. So I decided to quit my job and just keep doing the credit repair. because there's nothing like working for yourself compared to working for somebody else and just making them rich. Because that's what we're doing at regular jobs. You're just working your butt off to make somebody else rich. So a realistic time frame is 6 to 8 months. The attorneys are going to tell you 6 to 12 months, but that's because their process is different than a regular CRO, which is a credit repair organization or a credit repair company. They're not just trying to get deletions, they're trying to trigger violations so they can litigate these accounts, get them removed, get you money in your pocket, sometimes thousands of dollars. I think the last client that I had that got money got $5,000 from Experian because they refused to fix inaccurate and incomplete accounts on her credit report that were affecting her score. If you dispute something on your credit report that you can prove is damaging your score and they don't fix it, you can sue for that. It's that simple. And I say that's simple to me and the attorneys because we know what we're doing and we know what we're looking for. Would I ever be open to having an assistant? That's another great question. I'm not sure, honestly. I tried that before, and it didn't work out too well, honestly. But one thing that I do is I pay $50 per referral. So if somebody sends me a client and they sign up and pay, I pay $50 for that. So if you send me 10 clients, they all sign up, I'm going to send you $500, and all you had to do was refer them to me. No, they really are unreliable, and some people are just unrealistic with what they're doing and also what they're supposed to be making. You know, they may see the big number that's going into the business, but they don't see the number that's almost just as big going out of the business, because I'm the one that actually pays the attorneys. You never pay the attorneys a dime. Even if they're able to sue, they're going to take their money out of the lawsuits. If they're not able to sue, guess what? They're not going to make anything more than what I'm paying them on a monthly basis. So yeah, if y'all have any more questions, please put them in the comments. Appreciate the questions. Hello, Annabelle. Yeah, and honestly, between the whole process of getting you in with my attorneys, getting them all the information, getting them the 4 credit reports, underwriting, reviewing everything, reviewing any previous disputes done in the last 24 months. Typically, they only send 2 rounds. That's typically all it takes, but the litigation part is the part that takes so long. But it's worth it in the end because you're not just getting deletions, you're getting money in your pocket and sometimes debts waived, so you don't have to pay them. Yeah, that sounds good. And I believe this is Miss Williams, if I remember correctly. But yeah, once we have those 4 reports, because they are required, and the reason they require those, headed to the gym, love your lives. Appreciate it. I'm going to try my best to go live every day for y'all. Maybe not on Saturday and Sunday. I will still try. But Monday through Friday, my plans are to go live every single day. I appreciate that, Miss Williams. Again, make sure that they tell me you referred them so I can make sure to get you paid. Definitely want to get everybody paid that sends me referrals for sure. I plan on getting your credit repair course soon, trying to save up $1,000 now. Me being a newbie, and is this something I could seriously do? I want to clean up my brother and girlfriend's credit. No, absolutely. I would say the hardest part for most consumers is putting the work in, doing the studying, going over the modules, using that software that's going to point those FCRA violations out for you. Because again, it doesn't just point them out, it also puts the verbiage that the attorneys want you to use in the letters. So you don't even have to think about what to dispute. And then you're going to be partnered with the attorneys who are going to step in and litigate those files for the bureaus not fixing those FCRA violations. So yes, it's something that anybody can do that's willing to put the work in and actually try to do it. Mr. Peters, thank you. I know I missed hope everything's well with you. I think I missed, okay. So what's the process? The attorneys review the item. They send them a deletion letter. And if they don't, they sue. How long? You said earlier up to 6 months. Why so long? Because the litigation process, I mean, they're gonna fight it. So they're gonna try to fight with the attorneys on not having to delete the account, obviously, and not have the debt waived. And of course, they definitely don't want to pay, court fees. They don't want to be paying you thousands of dollars. They don't want to be paying the attorneys thousands of dollars. Remember, they're in the business to make money, just like any other business. So if they're having to pay money for breaking the law, then they're not happy about that. They're not making money. It's bad for business. Nah, I want you to keep the money. I appreciate that, Miss Williams, but I would really prefer to pay you, because that's what I do, is I pay everybody that sends me referrals $50. I don't mind at all. If you help me, I want to help you. I mean, I know that I'm working on your credit, but still, it's only fair to me, in my opinion. I don't even care about the money. I just want them deleted ASAP. Yeah, so, please don't take this the wrong way, but if you're just in a hurry to get everything deleted fast, then my company is definitely not the company that you want to work with, because legal credit repair takes time. And the only way you're going to guarantee to get it done fast is if you do a credit sweep. And we don't do those. Those are illegal and you're committing fraud. And I'm not saying that you're looking for a credit sweep. I'm just telling you, you can't rush legal credit repair. Legal credit repair takes time. Even without the attorneys, if you're disputing the legal way, it's still going to take time. They're still going to fight it based off of them trying to make money. Hold on a second, y'all. I got to get some water. Sit down for a second. See, I hope you didn't take that the wrong way. I wasn't trying to be rude. Just being honest with you. We don't want anybody using our services that's trying to rush the process or in a hurry. Now, I get certain people are in certain situations where they're trying to buy a house or they're trying to buy a car and they need it now, but we just, we really can't help those people. And that's just me being honest. Is there a chance that you could sign up and be done in 3 to 4 months? Absolutely. But again, the attorneys have advised me to tell anybody that signs up for our services, most consumers is going to take a minimum of 6 months. And if you're an identity theft victim, it's going to take up to 2 years. But I can tell you, for the identity theft, you're going to get thousands and thousands of dollars if they don't remove that stuff off your report at the end of those 24 months. The last person got over $100,000. And that's how much money they got after the attorneys got their parts. Excuse me, sure what the attorneys got, but I think anybody would be happy with an extra 100. That's a great question, GoFins. No, I always review the reports first myself, because once I send the reports to the attorneys, if I see violations already, I go ahead and point them out so they don't have to look for them. But either way, they're still going to go over the report and look for everything. Because remember, outside of the fee I pay them every month, they only get paid if they're able to sue and litigate these files. G Brown, I appreciate that. Yeah, that's one thing that I've always prided myself in, is being honest, being transparent. A lot of it has to do with how I was raised as well. My parents don't play that when it comes to being honest with people and treating them right. And then obviously, you know, I'm a new believer of God as of last week. So, you know, I put God first in everything that I do now. And it's been the best thing that I've ever done. I will be 41 in September. And, you know, the way I view it, it's kind of sad that it took this long to put God in my life. But again, without him, honestly, I don't know where I would be right now. So, yeah, I know a lot of people don't believe in, you know, that stuff, and that's fine. But, you know, I believe in God, and he's the best thing that's ever happened to me. So, yeah, the main violations they're looking for is if you've already disputed accounts, because again, whether you've done it yourself or whether another credit repair company has done it, you have to request those letters they mailed in. And just a little bonus here, if you've used a company in the last 24 months and I tell you my attorneys need those letters and they refuse to give you those letters, my attorneys can sue them for that too, because by law they have to show you the work. Now if they said they've disputed online, doesn't matter. They have to have proof that they disputed that stuff online so the attorneys can review it. But the first thing they're looking for is any dispute that you sent in and any response that you've gotten back. So for example, you disputed everything that's inaccurate and everything that's incomplete on an account. Everything, including the payment history. You didn't miss anything. You did this on your round one dispute letter. And when I say everything, I mean everything. All your letters should always be extremely thorough and to the point, telling them exactly what you want removed and exactly why you want it removed. And then let's say TransUnion sends you dispute results via the mail and everything was verified as accurate. Well, that's a violation because they didn't do their job. Their job is to either fix the errors and make it 100% accurate or delete it from the credit report. That's it, nothing else. So that's the first thing they're looking for is, and this is exactly how the lady got her Experian report clean, because we disputed everything inaccurate and everything incomplete. And the letters are very thorough and they're a lot longer than pretty much any letter that anybody else in the industry is sending in, because they usually just dispute one or two things that's inaccurate on the account. Well, when you do that, you're making their job easier. Anyway, back to the Experian thing. So they didn't fix any of the errors, and they said everything was verified as accurate. And the attorneys were able to get her $5,000, recover $30,000 in fees that were obviously paid to the attorneys because they do all the work. And I know a lot of people, the first thing they say is, well, why did the attorneys get so much? Because they're the ones doing all the hard work. There's a lot of work that goes into pre-litigation credit repair. And again, these are attorneys. These are not some people in another country that's probably stealing your information. Your information's as safe as it's going to be. So she got everything wiped off. They had to literally delete everything, and she got $5,000. So if I was able to get everything cleaned on my report and get $5,000 in my pocket, I wouldn't care if the attorneys got $1 million. But that's just me. The main thing, most people sign up for credit repair. Is a lot of people just like, I don't even care about, the money. I just want the stuff deleted. But you got to take your time. And then, you also got collections. You're looking for FDCPA violations. Did you ask them to validate the debt in the right time frame? And that's another thing most people don't understand. So if you get a dunning letter from, let's say, LVNV Funding, you only have 30 days to dispute that account. Once the 30 days is up, if you send them a validation letter, by law they don't even have to investigate. They don't. I promise you. You can ask an attorney. You have a 30-day window to dispute that account and ask for validation. Once that letter hits 30 days, if you send it, that's not to say that they won't or they won't remove it, but I'm just telling you at that point, they don't have to. But let's say you did send them something within the first 30 days and they just send something like payment history or something. That doesn't validate the account. They have to send a lot more information than that. But again, you got so much false information on the internet, so much on YouTube, and nobody knows what to believe. Well, me personally, I'm going to believe the attorneys. I'm not going to believe somebody that's hiding in Vietnam trying to convince you he's a credit repair master. Pinnacle Credit Repair. Sorry, I had to do that. Looks like I missed some stuff. It's never too late, brother. Good thing that you found God, because some people still haven't. No, I agree 100%. And my parents were the happiest people in the world. You'd have thought they won the lottery when I told them I finally accepted God into my life. Yes, you can dispute child support. You can dispute anything on your credit report that's inaccurate and anything that is incomplete. No, so the process is the attorneys, once you're switched over to the attorneys, everything from start to finish is between you and the attorneys. Everything. And if you have questions, obviously you can reach out to me. They're going to be the ones that get you the results, and they're going to be the ones who tell you when you need to get those annual credit reports again, because they will need them more than one time, because they're going to be sending in more than one dispute letter, and they're going to have an updated credit report before they start round 2, round 3, how many ever rounds that they have to send. Most of the time, they only send 2 rounds. And it might take 1 to 2 months for them to get started. Yes, I'm going to be honest with you about it. Yes, it is a process. It's not like, signing up with another company that's just disputing this stuff. All they need is your credit report from credit monitoring, some documents, probably a software that does all the work for them, and then they're just going to fire away letters hoping for the best, whether they're using Metro 2 or Consumer Laws, because that's what most people use. Those are the 2 most popular forms to dispute things. Metro 2 sucks. It's terrible. I'm not saying that it doesn't work for everybody, but when you compare it to factual disputing, it's not even a competition. It's like comparing Sasha Vujacic to Kobe Bryant. There's no competition there. What if... Yes, identity theft will affect all of those things, yes. And if it's the wrong name, you could have a mixed file, and that's something that they sue for as well. If you have a mixed file with somebody else, whether that be a family member or a consumer you've never met in your life. Can I guess that it was Kristen Vargas, Expert Credit Sweeps? I'm gonna take a wild guess here because I feel like that's probably who it is. And if you did, God bless your soul. And I'm not here to judge you or anybody else for any decisions you make. A lot of these people on YouTube, they talk the talk, but they don't walk the walk. They just want your money. When somebody calls me for a consultation, the last thing that's ever brought up